After 7. But students are there. Everybody's there.
I recommend the appropriate treatment.
Hey, I'm not me.
You would honor your company account to pay for the certificate. 100,000.
As a woman, said that try to go and make your own. Even if the money is not up to your own husband's home.
The company will faces the potential estimated damage. Right. There's only a first one. It's like a million 20 million.
You see, okay, when me say, then make me go back to my And feel your body on top of mine. Right now, we ain't gonna waste no time, baby.
Hello, are you okay? Who is Sarah Bibola? Can you please mute your mic?
Oh, sorry, sir.
A very stupid girl.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to start the class now. I wanted to project my screen on the laptop, but the thing is hanging, and I'm trying to get the task manager to end this task, but Zoom is been naughty. So let's see if in the next 5-10 minutes it cooperates. Actually, I wanted to see if I could expand our population scope by live streaming. But luckily, we are still within the limit I can accommodate now, so we can proceed. And once this my system resolves, I can now. Okay, I think it says I'm live already anyway, but I can't get the link. I want to share the link. Oh, the content of this meeting has been sent to YouTube. Fantastic. So the only thing now is that I'm not a techno guru like you. Do you know how you can get the YouTube link? Because my laptop that could have enabled me is hanging. Do you have any techno person around? Or will you be able to join the live stream automatically? So any IT person in class? Oh, you found it. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Damsey, thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. So with that, can you help me share that on our group platform? So that let me see if I can also do so here, so that the class rep can get it across to other members of the class, and we can move on from there. And then what I will do, okay, so that way others can join us. So what I will do is I may have to shut down the system and then reboot later, and that way we can have the screen to interact better. So good evening, everyone. Before we move on, class rep, can you raise up your hand so that I can make you co-host? And what you're going to do for me is to manage noisemaker. So anyone that is making a noise, you just help mute that person. So class reps, can you raise up your hands, please? Hello, class, can you hear me?
Yes, ma.
All right. So raise up your hands so that I can make you co-hosts. Okay, thank you, Damsey, Daniel, thank you. So you are co-hosts, and your job will be to help me mute noisemakers. Oh, thank God. My system has finally stopped hanging. Okay. All right, then 230-2021-01. Can you rename yourself properly? Though I'll still make you a co-host. Okay. All right. Okay, I think we're on now. So let's see if I can still join through my system. Okay. So can you all hear Hi, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're all welcome to today's class. It's FBA 321. Just give me a few seconds so that I can share my screen with you. Meanwhile, I'm still my humble self. I have not changed. Maybe I've aged a bit, but I'm still Bolajoko Dixon-Ogbechi at your service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a blank screen on which we'll do our writings.
Thank you, man. Okay.
Class reps, my co-host, can you do your job, please? Help mute the noisemakers. Thank you. Okay. So let's get the blank screen. All right, so can you see this blank screen I'm sharing now?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So I'm going to put my course content straight away, and then we move straight from there. Okay. All right. So today we shall be looking at sampling design. And for us to do that effectively, we look at some relevant definitions in terms of what research means. We are refreshing our memories on that. What population, the different types of population. Co-host, please do your job. Thank you. The different types of population. What samples means. Difference between representative or unrepresentative or biased or unbiased sample. We look at the concept of sampling frame as well as how to determine sample size, then the reasons or advantages why we have two samples. We also look at factors to take into consideration when we are sampling, and then we look at types of sampling techniques and apply them. And that's why I requested for your class list, because I'm going to use that to demonstrate sampling procedures. Sava? So we're going to move on, and the class is going to be an interactive session where I'll ask you questions. If you want to answer questions, you raise up your hands. And then once you answer, you earn bonus points. At the end of this class, I'll give you your assignment, which will be a group assignment, and also the policy guidelines to guide the conduct of the assignment. So are you with me? If you don't want to talk, just do a thumbs up so I know that we are still communicating. Sava, oh, thank you so much. Beautiful. So relevant definitions. Let's start with the first one because I love adopting reductionist approach. The course is research methodology. And the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what is research? What is research? If you want to answer that question, please raise up your hands. What is research? The floor is open. Oh, thank you. We take two people now. We have Mercy and Amina. Mercy and Amina are going to tell us what they understand by the concept research. What is research?
Research is an act of investigation. Like
Okay, hold on.
research is a
Mercy, you have
careful
to,
investigation. Like it's
one
like
second. Amina, go slow, go slow. I have to write now. So tell us, what is research? Go slow so that I can do the write-up. Is that okay? So fire on now.
research is a systematic search for searching information on a specific topic. It is a search for a new fact. Like when you're searching for a new fact in any branch of knowledge.
New
Like when you're
facts, okay.
collecting the facts or
So
data.
Mercy, hold on. Let me first of all acknowledge you for
To
giving
read.
us this definition. It's Amina, isn't it? So Amina, I take it that your surname is Alim. So
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
using the upper style of referencing to
Yes,
acknowledge.
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm using the upper style of referencing, which says surname and year of publication. That's one thing you need to know. Anytime you are doing research, you must give honor to whom honor is due. Otherwise, you will be accused of plagiarism, which is academic armed robbery. So all of you as scholars, as you give your definitions, I need to acknowledge you. And if you are using someone else's definition, you should say, oh, this definition is obtained in so, and so. Don't take credit for a work that is not originally yours. Is that okay? So you acknowledge
Yes,
the
ma'am.
source and I'll also acknowledge you. All right. So Mercy, thank you. Sorry. Amina, thank you so much for your contribution on what the concept research means. I think, Amina, you are the one that gave us this definition, isn't it? Thanks so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is Mercy still there? Mercy, we are waiting your own view on what research is. Please don't give me AI definition. I want your own definition as a human being, okay? So Mercy, are you still there? Otherwise, do we have a Ngozi, Efuagu? Mercy, Ngozi? Oh, let's
Yes,
go to
ma'am.
the gentleman. I saw it. All right.
Yes,
Ngozi,
ma'am.
over to you now. What do you think research is?
Okay. I would say research is an art of making a new findings or already based on, carrying on investigation that is already existing, but to get a clear information to gather knowledge and also increase understanding. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to type out what you view research to be. So let's see if I got it right. Otherwise, we need to edit. Is that okay? So can you see what I have on my screen? You said this is an art of making a new findings. If it's findings, it should be plural. Making new findings or carrying out investigation that is already existing to gather knowledge. So let's say in order to make it flow better, in order to gather knowledge or increase understanding. Did I get that right, if Ngozi?
Yes, ma.
Thank you so much. So I'm acknowledging you. I hope this is originally your definition or you're not paraphrasing another person's own.
It's mine, ma.
Is it your own?
Yes.
100%. Hey,
Yes, ma.
Ogbono Feli. You are all hot in this class. Let's see. So let's look at the conceptualization of research by two beautiful scholars from your class. And Alim says, this is a systematic search for information on a specific topic. It is a search for a new fact. Beautiful. And we have another view that says this is an art of making new findings or carrying out investigation that is already existing in order to gather knowledge or increase understanding. So I think carrying out investigation on what is already existing. Don't you think that would be better, Ngozi? Ngozi, are you there?
Yes, ma, I am.
Instead of that is if we say on what is already existing. Isn't that better?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Thank you. So class,
Thank
we
you.
have these two views of the concept research. We have these two views on the concept research. So can someone tell us which is more acceptable, or whether both of them fully represent the concept research from your own perspectives? So comments, please. I'll take two views on this and we'll move on. Does this, okay. Adicha, I saw that hand up fast. Are you there? So what's your take on this? Do these represent the concept research? Do they cover research in its entirety from your own perspective? Or you need to add or delete something? So class, the floor is open. Alim, Ngozi, please remember to type in your details for your bonus points. Hello, yeah. Koinsola, you have the floor. After Koinsola, we take Ajayi. So Koinsola, over to you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
So I would say, yes, I would say that my classmates really tried in the definition, but I also want to now add is making use of scientific methods. I think research is not complete without the scientific method being involved. So that would be my addition to it.
Okay, 1 second. While agreeing with the above views, Koinsola, I take it that your surname is Ogunlayi.
Yes, ma'am.
2026 stated that. So what did you say?
I said that research is not the definition of research is not totally complete without adding scientific method, because we have to make use of scientific method in order to get your research, in order to do your research, rather.
Okay. So what I typed, does that reflect what you are saying? Sava?
Yes, ma'am. Saba.
All right, thank you so much. I would have loved to have more opinions, but time is not our best friend. So I'm going to summarize based on what we have now. Remember, we are looking at the concept research. What is research? Is that okay? Now, if we look at the first definition, it said it is a systematic search for information on a specific topic. It is a search for a new fact. Yes, this represents research. However, it does not cover research in all its ramifications, because by the time you recall, you can see that we have different types of research. We have our traditional research, we have basic research, we have applied research, which means you can carry out investigation on something that has already happened to see why it happened, and if it's a good thing, how you can ensure it continues to happen. So it necessarily does not have to be about new facts. Is that okay? That is traditional research, but we can also have applied research. Sava? Can say thumbs up if you don't want to talk, so I know that we are still on the same page. Sava? Grazie mille. Now, let's look at the second definition, which conceptualizes research as art of making new findings or carrying out investigation on what is already existing in order to gather knowledge or increase understanding. So this definition is more encompassing. It's more encompassing compared to the first one. And finally, it was concluded that irrespective of the way you conceptualize research, you should know that research is a scientific activity because it follows the scientific process. So given this now, we can, given this, we can then conceptualize we can conceptualize research as, so I'm going to incorporate everything in all these three definitions to come up with a single definition, which was propounded by my mentor, may so rest in peace, Professor Nnamdi Asika, as any organized inquiry that aims at gathering information to solve identified problems. All right. So if you look at this definition of research, which was obtained after looking critically at the one given by your colleagues, it views research as what? Any organized inquiry. When we talk about an organized inquiry, we are referring to a scientific process. Is that okay?
Yes, ma.
So anytime you talk about organized inquiry, it is a scientific process that follows a scientific approach. Sava? Now, what else do you notice from this definition? Can you identify the keywords in this definition?
Gathering information and solving identified problems.
Beautiful, gathering information. So research is about what? Data collection. It's about data collection. And why do we gather this data? Why do we gather the data?
Solve problems like the identified problems.
To solve identified problems. So Emmanuel, type in your details for your bonus points. So which means research is about what? Problem solving. It's about problem solving. It identifies problems and solves the problems following systematic or scientific approach. And when we talk about scientific approach, it means we are going step by step. Sava? And one of the steps we need to go through in the scientific approach is what we are doing under sampling design. And that is because for you to gather information, you need to know the elements from which you are to gather this information. And the elements from which you gather this information are what we refer to as, what are the elements from which we gather information? Can somebody tell us what they are?
Like the population.
Population. So that takes us to the next key term we are defining. So in order to solve problems, we need to gather information from elements referred to as referred as the population. Is that okay? So the next question, what will be my next question to the class? Can somebody tell me? What is the next question?
What is
What
population?
What is population?
Beautiful. So that's the next level now. So who is going to tell us what population is? The floor is open. 2 contributions, please. What is population? Define population. Okay, Emmanuel, you are now my customer dada. So Emmanuel, Blessing, do you want to join Emmanuel? Olalekan Blessing? Oh, Dempsey pictures. Can you imagine? Oh. Emmanuel, you are so lucky. 3 people have decided to join you in this definition journey. Oluwashemilore say I cannot be left out. So let's go on. You may not all define population. You may have to help me define other things. So let's start with population. Emmanuel, over to you. What
Okay,
is
so
population?
okay, ma. So population is more or less of the entire group of thing you want to draw a conclusion from, like the entire group of people or things that your research is focused on, in order for you to draw the conclusion on.
So, and that is, oh, your surname, please.
Ajayi.
Ajayi, thank you. All right. So thank you so much, Ajayi. God bless you. So Damsey picture, Damsey, you have to tell us your real name because that name will not attract your exam score. So Damsey, what's your correct name? From the pictures, I can refer that you are into photography.
Ayeni Damilare, ma.
Okay. Ayon Damilare.
Ayeni Damilare.
Ayeni,
On
okay.
the chat box.
Ayeni, thank you. Oh, thank you. All right. What's your take on the concept population? What is it?
Okay, population, we can say it's the aggregate, or like, let me say, total number of, we can say, individuals, objects, or in a layman, like events or elements that share common characteristics and are of interest to a researcher.
You have to pause so you can see I'm not as fast as your mouth. So total number of individuals, what else?
Objects,
Objects, okay.
events
Okay.
or elements, so that shares common characteristics. And are of interest to the researcher.
All right. Thank you so much, Ayeni. So I'll just take one more because we still have a lot of things to define, but I have my soldiers already ready to answer questions. So thank you so much, Ayeni. Type in your details for your bonus points. And finally, Demilade Adebanjo. What's your take on this? Now, I don't want you to define population. Can you tell us about the types of population?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good
So
afternoon.
the
Sorry.
types of
Let's go. Sorry, Demilade. Sorry. Before you tell us about the types, let me now summarize on what population is if they are okay. And then we move to the type. That way we don't have to go front and back. So just give me 1 second. So let's look at how they conceptualize population. Ajayi says it's the entire group of people or things that your research is focused on. Interesting. Total number of individuals, objects, events, or elements that share common characteristic, and is, we should put are because there are many things he listed, and are of interest to the researcher. The definitions are both quite good, entire group of people or things, because from the definitions, you can see that population could be living or non-living. It depends on what the researcher is interested in. We can clearly see that from the 2 definitions. As you can see, the second one says total number of individuals, objects, events, or elements that share. Oh, this one says share common characteristics. But the question I want to ask is, must all population elements share common characteristics? So, Tobena Nwogu, must all population elements share common characteristics? Are you saying diversity has no place?
Not
No,
necessarily.
ma.
It depends on your research or what you are studying. So they might not necessarily be common.
Beautiful. So by putting common characteristics, you have narrowed the scope of that definition, hence it doesn't cover all types of population. So basically, we can conclude that population is all conceivable elements about a phenomenon of interest to the researcher. So what we're saying here is that population could be anything. It depends on what you are investigating. It could be living, it could be non-living. If I'm studying the effect of illumination on the growth of plants, what will my population be? Adevanjo. I'm studying the effect of illumination on the growth of plants. So what will my population be?
The plants, different types of plants that we have.
Fantastic. Different types of plants that we have. Is that okay? If I'm studying the effect of illumination on vision of students offering FBA 321 or 324, what will my population be?
So students offering FBA 321.
So what will the population be? Listen to what I'm investigating. The effect of illumination on vision of students offering FBA 321 or 324. So what will my population be?
The eyes/vision of the students offering FBA 321.
Fantastic. So my population will be what? The eyes of the students offering this course. Are you getting it? So you need to know how to define your population correctly, because it is from the population you gather information that will help you solve the identified problem. So Demilade, type in your details for your bonus points. Thank you so much for your contribution. So we now move on. Amina, now we know what population is. Can you tell us about the types of population? So what are the types of the population?
Type.
Yes. We have two main types of population. Identify them.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you are thinking, oh, who is that?
Yeah. Living things and non-living things are the two types of
Infinite and
See, I say,
infinite.
hey, my heart begin. For trying alone, type in your details for your bonus points. You've tried. So, but the question is, did you get it correctly? So can someone help him out? No, identify yourself. I mean, now you are still on. Do you still want to try?
Yes, finite and not
Yes.
infinite.
Thank you. We call it finite.
Finite and not finite.
Population. Instead of not finite, what do we call the not finite? There's a technical name for it. Tobena infinite.
We got
Finite
is it that
population.
Thank you, Amina. You have tried, so I left you off with the hook. Let's see if others could help us differentiate between these two types of population. Tobena, any idea? Define a finite population.
So finite populations are groups that can be numbered, while infinite populations cannot be numbered.
So instead of numbers, let's say they are countable. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You can count them from the first to the last. And infinite is what's uncountable. Very simple, isn't it? So it has no beginning. It has a beginning, but no end. Another technical terms we can say is that they are collectively exhaustive. Finite population are collectively exhaustive. That is, you can count from the first to the last. Is that okay? While infinite is uncountable. Is that okay? Now, it's important for you to know the difference between these two types of population, especially when you want to draw samples. That is because the kind of tools you can use to draw finite population may not work when you are dealing with infinite population in terms of sampling techniques. Is that okay? Now, the next concept I want to define, or I want you to define, is the concept of census. 1 second, let me put my highlight. Yeah. Census. Oh, this one should be big enough. So what is a census? Have you heard about the concept census?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
What is a census?
Census is a method of data collection in which information is obtained from every member of the population, rather than from the sample.
Thank you so much. You are on course. The only thing is you are talking about census, excuse me, as a methodology or as an approach. But I just want to know the meaning of that concept alone. Let's see if, okay, Oguchi, you want to try. What's the census?
Census is a
Oguchi is the one talking. Oh.
Census
Oguchi, are you fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Census is the study of all units in the population.
Okay. A census is what? A study. You are still looking at it as an approach of all units.
Or the counting of people.
So census is what we call
I don't want to
complete
get
research.
you are confused on whether you buy power bank or my time.
My co-host, you are not working, no. That is, you are studying everything. You are studying everything, all the elements. You are not removing anyone. Is that okay? Now, as researchers, there are situations where you have to use a census. And there are situations where using a census is impossible. Is that okay? So a census is the study of the entire population, another way, or usage of the entire population for an investigation. In a nutshell, census is just totality. Ça va? Now, the next question now, which I'm going to throw at Ishola Baraka. Sophia, I love that name, double barrel like my own. Can you tell me? Can you tell me or tell us the situation whereby you have to use a census? Tell us when you have to use a census.
Okay. I feel like when your information is not complete or you just have to research more on something or you have an information, you have to edit it. So I feel like that's when you do the censor.
You know what censor means? Totality. everything. So for trying, type in your details for your bonus points. Let's see if Fumilola can help out. When do we use census, Fumilola?
Okay, so we can use census when the population is small and like manageable.
Beautiful is used when the population is small and manageable. Is that okay? So when you are dealing with small population, census is better. Is that okay? Because it's easy to manage, it's not too expensive. And from the statistical perspective, any population that is less than 30 is considered small statistically. Is that okay? And from the rule of thumb perspective, a population of even 50 can be considered small, depending on what you are investigating. But that is based on rules of thumb. Some people may say 100 is small, depending on the person's perspective. But if we want to have a scientific basis for deciding on whether a population is small or not, statistically speaking, anything below 30 is considered to be small population. Is that okay? So anytime you are carrying out your investigation and your population is less than 30 or less than 50, no need of drawing samples because you can manage that small population to get meaningful information. However, when your population is large, when you're dealing with large population, doing a census becomes what? If you are dealing with large population, doing a census becomes what?
Impossible.
Impossible, tedious, stressful, time-consuming, expensive. Are you with me? So because of that, we need to draw samples. However, etc. So you can write on any disadvantages you can feel, Imagine if I tell you to go and gather data from 1 million Nigerians, you know what that means. So you can imagine all this stress. So just type it there as your spirit direct. So because of this, we need to draw samples, especially because we as management scientists, we are dealing with social people. Is that okay? We are dealing with population. We are dealing with population because whatever we are investigating depends on the phenomenon of interest. And because we are dealing with population, we could be finite or infinite. It's important for us to learn how to draw samples, especially when you are dealing with what? Large population. And there's another type of population that will require you to use sample. So what other population? Oguchi, what type of population will require you to draw samples?
Large population.
Apart from large, there's another type.
Um,
Adekambi, Tobena,
Infinite.
infinite. Why is it that with infinite population, you must always use samples? Why? Whether large or small, once the population is infinite, you must use samples. Why?
Because it is a large like number.
What?
It was large number, like the people in it have more.
No, it's not that because it has large number, but there's another fundamental reason. Tobena, any idea?
It might become incorrect due to the collation of the data if it's too much.
No, that's not it.
I think because of
Mercy.
the count mark.
We can say because it's like going to be faster.
Yes, it's going to be faster to draw samples when you are dealing with infinite population or large population. But there's a fundamental reason why anytime you have infinite population, whether you like it or not, whether you have the resources or not, you must always use samples. Baba
Because
Tunde, because what?
it's impossible
Be-
to
because it has no end. You cannot,
Because
you
it
can't
has
ascertain
no
the end of it.
end. Even if you want to do complete enumeration, you will keep on doing and doing and doing until Jesus Christ will keep on coming back and back. You will still be doing your investigation. Is that okay? So with infinite
Yes, ma'am.
population, you have no choice but to draw samples. Is that okay? So what will be my next question? Now, let's see. Can someone anticipate the next question?
Definition of sample.
What is a sample? Beautiful. That is the next thing. So what is a sample? Let's see. Joy Olarewaju, can you tell us what a sample is?
Okay, ma'am. The sample is a population from a smaller population picked from the larger population to help study the larger population.
Joy, you like tongue twisting, you know? Smaller population, picked from a larger population to help study a population. Do you want my tongue to bite my I know you have an idea, but I'm telling you, what is your name? And you are using what is your name in defining what is your name. Do you get it? Do you want to try again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's give her a second.
A sample thank you, ma'am. A sample is a smaller group that picked from a bigger group or the population to help study or learn about the whole population.
Now that is more acceptable. How do you find this your second definition? This is a smaller group picked from the population. So let me acknowledge you now. What's your surname? Is it Olarewaju?
Yes, ma'am.
Olarewaju. Is that okay? So as Olarewaju rightly said, a sample is simply a part of the population. It is a part of the population. So once you are a part of something, you are definitely smaller. Is that okay? Now we have different types of samples. So do you know the types of samples we can have? Any idea? Grace Adejimo, any idea on type of samples?
Ma, I think we can have probability samples and non-probability samples.
No, that will not work. That you're already moving into the world of sampling techniques. Okay. Oh,
You can't see it.
Oguchi, do you want to try?
Baba, ma?
Cluster sampling, certified sampling. Cluster
Guys,
sampling
you're
and
talking about you are still talking about techniques. The person is saying, ma, is your hand up already?
Ma?
Raise up your hand or tell us your name. Okay, let's see. Okay, Ojo Gloria. Ojo Gloria. What are the types of samples?
Good evening,
I
ma.
mentioned them earlier. Class. Good evening.
We have bias sample and unbiased sample.
Thank you. That's the technical term I've been waiting for. We have two types. We can have representative or unbiased sample, or unrepresentative or biased sample. Is that okay? So now let's see. Can someone, let's see, Grace, do you have idea of what a representative sample is or what an unrepresentative sample is? Any idea? Ajayi Emmanuel? After
Ma, can I
Ajayi
try?
Maureen? Okay, so hand up already.
Okay. Yes, it is.
All right, so
Can I
please do try.
All right.
Okay,
So
Mercy has
representative sample. Can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me, ma.
loud and clear.
All right. So representative sample is a sample whose characteristics closely match that of the population, and while a biased sample is a sample that systematically or underrepresents some parts of the population.
You see that you are very fast, so I'm only able to get the one. Unrepresentative sample is a sample whose characteristics closely matches that of the population. And what would be unbiased?
Unbiased is a sample
Sample?
that systematically or underrepresents some parts of the population. It's
Okay, I've
systematically
got
over or under. I can either overrepresent or underrepresent some part of the population. That's for biased sample.
Okay. Check it out. Do you like the way I coined it here? Does that express your view?
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay. Okay, your surname?
Nonyelu.
Okay, your surname is
Nonyelu.
Nonyelu. I got it.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. All right. So you have a nice idea. Does anyone want to add value to that before I summarize? Iya Babayi. Oh, Iya Babayi, is that your name or your guy's name? It's a bit curious. So Iya, you have the floor. So while waiting for Iya, Bejide Precious. Precious, do you want to add to this discussion? Or you are all set?
Hmm? Mm.
It's fine, man. Someone already say
Ça va?
Ma, can I
Okay.
say?
Sure.
Okay, so for the unrepresentative bias, I would say it is like a group of responses or data points that doesn't reflect accurately on the larger population that it was supposed to stand for.
Does this go?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Since we have two views here, let me make it easy. So your surname, please.
Ongulai.
Can you spell it, please?
Hoji. UM. LAYI.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So we know the difference between biased and representative sample. Basically, a sample is representative if it processes all the characteristics of the population from which it is drawn. Is that okay? So it's not about closely matching, it's about processing all the characteristics. So I will replace this with processes all the characteristics. Of the population from which it is drawn. So by implication, if I want to draw a sample from this class and I decide to select only all females, is that representative or biased?
It's biased.
Bias.
Very, very biased.
So if I
Bias.
decide to take a sample of students from this class,
Bias.
thank you, and I decide to select only all my friends, what type of information is it?
Biased.
So it's
Bias.
important for
Favoritism.
thank you. It's important for you as a researcher to identify the characteristics or parameters of interest, because that will help you determine whether the sample you are selecting it's biased or unbiased. Sava? No.
No.
I want to introduce you to the concept of sampling frame. You see that sometimes you decide to study a population. Due to one reason or the other, you now find out that the whole population may not be accessible to you. By virtue of that, you need to create what we call sampling frame. Sampling frame. So can someone explain what we understand by the concept sampling frame? Maureen Udemba.
Yeah, ma. So a sampling frame is like the actual list or a base or a source from which a sample is selected in a research study.
I didn't get that definition very well. Can you repeat it again?
Okay, ma. A sampling frame is like the actual list, a base or a source from which a sample is selected in a research study.
Okay, the actual list
Yeah,
from which a
or
sample is selected.
in a research study. Or from a research study, sorry.
So what we call it is what we call our working universe.
Okay, ma.
Or non-theoretical population. Okay, let me give you an example to illustrate this. Can you all see my, you are seeing me very well, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see I'm wearing glasses. If I remove my eyeglasses, I have myopia. I cannot see beyond my nose. If I put on my eyeglass, so like this universe now is the universe of non-vision. Is that okay? If I put on my glasses and I look through the lenses, then I can see. But if I raise my eye above the glasses, I see nothing. Below, I see nothing. To the side, nothing. To the other side, nothing. But if I look through the glass, I see something. So it means inside the glass is my working universe. Is that okay? Inside my glass is my working universe. Anything outside, I cannot see. Is that all right? So it's important for you to understand the concept of sampling frame because it's not in all situations that the full population may be easily accessible. Is that okay? Ça va?
Yes, ma'am.
We're already moving into the practical part. So once you have this, your non-theoretical population or working universe, let me give you another example. Let's use your class. Recall, before the commencement of this class, I asked your class reps to share your class attendance list with me. Do you recall? Hmm? Do you recall? Okay, you may not know. So I asked the class rep to share the class attendance list with me. The attendance list for the class forms the population of all students in this particular class. But I'm sure the classroom will agree with me that there are some students that are registered, but are actually not part of this class. Either maybe they've traveled abroad or due to one reason or the others. Are you with me? There are some other students that want to attend this class, but due to connectivity issues, they will not be able to participate because they are not able to connect. Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
So all these category of students are inclusive in the total number that forms the population. Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
So now if I decide to draw samples using any of the technique I'll teach you, and I decide to use the class list as given to me by your class rep without identifying the sample frame, don't you think that there is a chance that I'll select a student that has already traveled or select a student that is not able to join the class due to connectivity issues? Don't you have that likelihood?
Yes, ma'am, there is.
So because of that, if I want to draw a sample from your class now and ensure that all the people have chances of being selected for a particular study, I'll first of all have to collect the class rep from your classroom and then remove all those people that have changed course, that have traveled abroad, that are not available due to one reason or the others. By the time I remove them, am I still with the totality again?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, it should have
So that
reduced.
is, they have reduced. So
No, ma'am.
that is what we now call your sampling frame. So your sampling frame with those population elements that are really accessible and reachable. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, once you know your sample frame, that is your working universe, the next thing is you have to determine how many items to select. And that takes you to discussion on what sample size. Is that okay? So Ajayi, can you tell us what a sample size is? Ajayi or Ubuji Divine?
Can I go on?
Sure.
Sorry, so some side just talks about how many people, item, or elements you actually include in your sample, like the numbers of entities in your sample.
It's simply the number of items to be sampled. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, as a researcher, determination of sample size is very, very important. Determination of sample size is very, very important. And there are different ways in which you can decide your sample size. Is that okay? So let's look at determination of sample size. How do we determine sample size? So class, any idea?
We
I
can
want to
use
study, yeah.
we can use census method, use of sample tables and mathematical formula.
No, I didn't get that again.
We can use census methods, sample size tables, and mathematical formulas.
If you are using now, remember, what did we call a census?
We said a census is the total number of objects in a population. The population of the number of objects in a population.
Yeah, we're not getting your class. Can you hear him clearly? I can't hear him. It's a bit muffled.
Ma is the
a census
totality of the
is
population.
So if census is totality of population, can you be doing census in your sampling or determining sample size?
No, ma'am.
You
No, ma'am.
understand? All right.
Ma,
Thank
can
you
I give
so much.
can I give an example of the time?
Okay, you have the floor. Fire
Okay, so if we can use the purpose of the study to determine the sample size, ma'am.
on. Purpose of the study to determine sample size? I'm afraid not. That is not possible. If I mention it, you will laugh. Let me just type it out for you. Okay, you want to try before I type it out?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fire on.
Determine the sample size maybe by defining your population.
Can you see? I just like, you try, but that is not an approach to determining sample size. There are just two types. And watch out what it is.
and quantitative approach.
Thank you. The sample size could be determined using quantitative or qualitative approach. Is that okay?
Yep.
So I'm now going to teach you the various approaches. Is that okay? Now, when we look at qualitative approach, different scholars have come up with different rules of thumb as to how to qualitatively determine the sample size. Some of them use a simple rule, 10% rule. They say, well, if you can study 10% of your total population, that is okay in terms of determination of sample size qualitatively. So some scholars used the subjective approach to determine sample size. Any questions?
No,
Hmm? So from that place, they can just say 10%. Any sample size that is at least 10% is acceptable, irrespective of the population size. Is that okay? Any question? So some others says that as long as you have a sample of 100 and above, it is acceptable. Is that okay?
Yes.
Hello, class, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Okay, and some other
Yes, ma, we are
scholars,
here.
thank you. Some other scholars like Bradley and McDougall argue that as long as we have a population of 100 and we're dealing with social sciences, that is more than enough. But one thing about sample size is that the larger, the better. Any questions? Hello, class, are you there?
Yes.
The quantitative approach, on the other hand, will require you to use formulas to determine your sample size. Is that okay? Hello, class, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, ma.
The formula you use will depend on whether you are dealing with a finite population, and the most popular formula used there is Taro Yamani. Is that okay? Have you heard about Taro Yamani?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
So it's a popular
No.
scholar. In fact, his formula is used in many, many works. Is that okay? To determine sample size. One interesting thing about his formula is no matter how large the population size is, the sample his formula will give you can never be more than 400. So if you use Taro Yamane formula and you are getting 450, 500, 600, note that you have done something wrong, irrespective of the population. So I have the formula there, and I have an example which has been worked. Can you see the screen I'm sharing now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if the population is finite, your sample size, no need of targeting, can be derived using the Tayo-Ramani formula. And now we are assuming a population of 14,368,000. And you can see how I slotted in that figure into my model and to come up with 399.99, which is approximately 400. Is that okay? Recall we have two types of population. So that formula is for where you have a finite population. Assuming the population is infinite, then you can use the Cochrane formula, which is another popular, useful formula. Any question? Any question? Hello, class, are you there?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right. So now, you remember I collected some data from your class reps. I've been able to open some of them. Others may take me some few seconds. So I'm going to give you an exercise now while I open more data. The one I've been able to open is that of ERHRM 27 class attendance, and I'm going to give you the number and you're going to use, okay? So the first question I want to ask, let me show you the population list, and then you now answer this question before we move on. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Ajayi, your hand is permanently up. I hope it's not paining you. You and who else has the hand permanently? And Uguchi Divine. Isn't that hand paining you? You have it up for over 1 hour. So let me help you drop it. Aha. Okay. So let me show you the list that we are going to use to work for our first practical session now. Any question while I'm working on this?
Okay, sorry,
Sarah?
ma. Actually, hello.
Hi.
Okay, so actually, I have a question. That's with respect to the quantitative and the qualitative. Are there scenarios whereby you actually have to use either of the two, or it is subjective?
It depends on your research design. Are you with me? It depends on your research design, the kind of study you are doing, and your population. Are you with me? It also depends on your population.
So if the population is infinite, which are we going to use?
Hi, class, can you help me answer Emmanuel's question? Can somebody help him out? If the population is infinite, what formula should we use?
Okra formula.
Do you get it? I just told you, I just displayed it, and I can see that is that Adeni Emmanuel is following very well. So can you see what I'm sharing now? This is the attendance list of ERHRM 27 class. Is that okay? So what type of population is this? Is it finite or infinite?
Finite.
Finite.
So what is, thank you.
Finite.
Well done. So what is the population size? We represent population size with capital N. What is the population size here?
160.
169.
169.
So from the statistical perspective, is it a small population or a large population?
No.
Large population. Large population.
It is a large population from statistical perspective. So if we want to determine the sample size, what do we do? Quantitatively, if I want to determine it quantitatively, what do we do?
You can use the MC formula.
It's Taro Yamani. Is that okay? Because it's a, yes, I'm going to put the formula on the screen for you now, and you are going to apply it. That's your first hands-on exercise, and tell me what the sample size should be if I want to draw a sample from this class. So the formula is on the screen now. You have 3 minutes to do the workings. Your time starts now. Once you are finished, let me know, and then we'll now verify. Is that okay? So if you've done it, you've gotten your value, let me know. Meanwhile, I want to download the other attendances. So we're learning how to determine sample size using the quantitative approach when we're dealing with a finite population.
Degree
Yes,
of
please.
freedom given a question,
The
like
guessing estimate is not given. Are we to use 95%?
Oh, there's a standard, it's 0.05. That's the standard one. You know, yeah. Okay, let me quickly give you that too. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So our error estimate confidence level is this. Okay, 1 second. Let me go back. Where am I? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I've added all the other parameters now. So that's helpful, isn't it?
So the answer there should be 119.
119. Okay,
Yes,
so I'll type the answer. Did you all get 119?
Yes, ma. Go 119.
Yes, ma.
Yes,
118.
ma. Yes, ma. 119.
Is it an approximation or you got exactly 119?
Approximation.
We
Approximation.
approximated for that.
Approximation
Approximation.
118.8.
All right, great.
Approximation,
Is that okay?
ma.
So, and this 119 will be represented with small letter n, which is equals sample size. Was that hard? Class, was it
No,
hard to do? So
No, I
when you
have
are
it.
doing your final year projects and you are dealing with a finite population, you know the number, you can now use this formula to determine how many samples to draw from that particular population. So while you are asking your question, I've downloaded. I want to see what the sample size of the other groups are.
Okay, ma. So I wanted to ask how the Pearson estimate was gotten.
How what was gotten, please?
The Pearson estimate was gotten, like,
That is a standard. Don't you have your
yeah,
Z-score table?
yeah, okay,
Don't
you're
you
going to
know
use the
about the
bottle,
Z?
right?
It's either
Yeah,
you have
okay.
5% confidence level,
Yeah,
1%, you
yeah,
get it, and you go and
yes,
read it
yes.
from your table.
All right, thank you.
Is that okay?
Yes, ma, yes.
Okay. So now I'll stop sharing this one and get another class to see if you have questions, you're free to ask. Ça va? Vous comprenez? Okay. What I can do, I can give you the other one as assignment. So what I want to do now is I'm going to download the other attendances. Yeah, and
I
get
might
the
have a question.
Yes, shoot, you have the floor.
All right, so now that we've gotten the sample size to be 119, what exactly do we use it for? Out of 169, does it mean that if we take 119 students, then we are good to go with our research? Is that what it means?
Yeah, that's what it means because you're not doing a census. You just want to study a part of the population with a view of making inferences that if it is true for this part, it is true for the entire population. Do you get it? Imagine if you want to study the whole 169, do you know how many years it will take you, depending on what you want to do? Don't you think it will take lesser time to study 119 instead of 169? What do you say?
All right, yeah, I've gotten it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So any other question? I want to get the data for the other classes so that we can now do an overall total, and then you can still use the quantitative approach to determine sample size for all sets of students that are offering this course. Is that okay? All right. So you are going to assist me to make it faster for us. And how you are going to do is, I've opened the various class lists on my Excel. So I'm going to be calling the number, you take note. Is that okay? Then when I close, I can now copy on our plain sheet. So just type out the number, that is the class and the population size on the Zoom chat so that I can now copy and paste in our blank sheet. Is that okay? So in no particular order, I'm starting with 200 level accounting and the total population for 200 level accounting. Are you writing it? Total population, that is N for 200 level accounting, is 2 42. Is that taken?
Yes, ma.
Thank you. Let me open for that's accounting done. Let's go to another class. This is 1 second. Actuarial science. The total population for actuarial science is 119. N for actuarial science is 119. Is that taken?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Let's go to the next group. 1 second. We have BizAdmin here. BizAdmin, the total population for BizAdmin. BizAdmin. They didn't number well. Can you imagine? So let me help them number correctly so that we get the correct data. The numbering was not complete. 1 second. Going. I'm almost there. Okay. From what I have after the numbering, we have 227. 227 for BizAdmin. So N BizAdmin equals 227. Is that done? Class, is that noted?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the next is the matric number is missing here. 1 second. Oh, this looks at I think 07 is finance, isn't it?
Insurance.
Insurance. Okay, thank you. Insurance, the total population for insurance, they didn't write it up. Let me quickly number and get back to you. Give me 1 second. Create a column for serial number. Okay, and I number them. Okay, for insurance, 1 second, I'm doing it. N for insurance equals 155. Is that noted?
One what, ma'am?
155. Is that noted? And for finance, our N is 208. Is that noted? Sava?
Finance, how many, ma?
208. And finally, okay, they forgot to number also. This is taxation. So let me help them number. Taxation for N, we have 1 second. 62. Yeah. N for taxation equals 62. Is that taken?
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. So I'm going to share again on my blank screen. And you can now give me the total population. Here's my blank screen. I think this is it. Is that it? Yes. Okay. All right. So now I want to determine another exercise now. Or let's call it rider. I like calling my exercises rider. Determine the sample size quantitatively given the population of all students offering FBA 321/324 and the 2025/2026 academic session, given the following population distribution. All right. So this is where that information you gave me is going to come in handy. So I'm going to develop a table. How many departments do we have in all?
Like I said,
Seven? How many? Is it
Okay.
6? We have 6, Abby, with taxation.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just start with this. We can populate, and if we need more. So let's say serial number. So the first thing you should do, give your table alone a name. Table 1. Population distribution. You must always name your tables. Is that okay? So here we can have serial number. It needn't be big. Then we have department. And then population size. And is that okay? So now start calling for me. Let me start inputting. Accounting.
Accounting 242.
242.
Thank you. Next.
Actual science 119.
Thank you. Next.
Peace
Admin
admin
227.
220.
Okay. Next.
Insurance 155.
55.
Next.
Finance 208.
208. So can
Yes, ma'am.
someone start adding for us while we're doing this? Next.
Population 62.
So we can now have total population.
1,013. That's total population.
One what?
1,013. Like
1,030.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So imagine now if I want to gather data from 1,030, wouldn't that give me a heart attack?
It
Hmm?
will.
So because of that, instead of doing a census, given this large population, I'll now use samples. So we need to now determine the sample size. So that is what you are going to do now. So determine the sample size now. I've given you the formula now.
For everything, right? That should be
Yes,
280.
sir. You've done it already using the Taro Yamane formula.
Yes, ma'am. That's 287.
So any other person, did you get conflicting information?
I got 286.7. That's approximately 287.
You said 287 too. Is that okay?
Yeah, 287.
So you can now see that it's easier for us, better for us, more convenient for us to study 287 instead of 1013. Is that okay? But this 287, which is sample, so let me put sample size. Must represent the whole department for it to be a representative or unbiased sample. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How do we do that? We now need knowledge of sampling techniques. Now, let me ask you now, remember, this is using Taro Yamane because it's a finite population. Now, I'm going to change this population to become infinite, and I want you to determine sample size for me before moving to the next topic. Is that okay? So, I'm giving you this rider 1. So, let's do rider 2 now. I'm just going to modify it, and you see how the population will change. Or before I modify, let me see if any of you can help me change it. Let's see if any of you can change this population from a finite one to become infinite. What do I have to manipulate to change this population? So I want to determine the sample size qualitatively, given the population of, now, I want this population to become infinite. What do I have to remove or add to make it an infinite population? So class, study it and let's see if any of you can get it. So what do I have to add or remove to convert it to an infinite population?
Okay, what if you remove the 2025-2026 academic session?
So let's do that.
Just going to make it larger.
But do you know one funny thing? Do you know that this population even ideally is infinite? I'll explain
Yeah,
to you.
ma'am.
Let me make it correctly. Let me correct the first one first. Though
You know,
what you
like,
said is okay, I remove the thank you. You understand now, you're getting it. Let me correct the first one there. It will be easier to manipulate this. So it should be population of students offering FBA 321 to 325 in the 2025-20 academic session in the University of Lagos. Like if I don't include University of Lagos, there's a chance that some other universities in any other part of the world could be offering this course. So is that okay?
yes, ma'am.
So I have to restrict the scope so that they know that we're looking at University of Lagos. If I don't add University of Lagos, this population data may not be correct because there may be other universities in other parts of the world that are offering this particular course, and yet I did not include. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, and once I remove in the academic session and leave only in Unilag, it becomes now an infinite population. Do you get it now?
Yes,
Determining
ma'am.
the sample size quantitatively, given the population of all students offering FBA 321-324 in the University of Lagos. Is that okay? This is an infinite population because as long as you have been a student of this faculty, you must offer FBA 321 or 324. Future students will also offer it, and we don't know how many will come. Is that okay? So in view of this now, we don't have a population size. Abby? So you need to determine the population. So you need to determine sample size because we don't have any population distribution. Do you get it now? So the question will be determine the sample size quantitatively for the population of all students offering. It will not be all, it will be population of students offering FBA 321 through 324 in the University of Lagos. And now the Taro Yamani formula will not work again. You have to use the Cochrane's formula. Is that okay?
Yes,
So let me
ma'am.
just reproduce the formula for you, and then you can tell me what the sample size will be. 1 second. Okay, let me move it to the next page. Showing that. All right, we are rounding up. We are already in the practical session. Okay, so this is the Cochrane formula. You are going to use this formula where n equals z squared pq over e squared. You know, e squared is the error term, which is also a 5%. In this case, I express it as 0.05%. P is the probability, which is an expected proportion of the population, and we are using the 50-50. So if P is equals to 0.5, which is 50%, Q is 1 minus P, which will be what? 1 minus 0.5. So slot this data into this formula and tell me what the sample size will be. Is that okay? And I already gave you your Z score. This to be your Z,
So we have
which is 1.96. So
so we'll be
quickly do
having
it.
385.
Ah, you've done it sharp, sharp, sharp. So what did you get?
385.
385. Are you sure? Sava?
Sorry, let me do it again just to be sure. I'm
Okay.
Oh my God. I got 384.16. So that's
What?
the page. 384.16.
384.16, which is approximately what?
384.
384.
384.
Mm. In statistics, do we have fractional human beings?
No, man.
And we are dealing with population of students. So if it
Yeah.
is more than 384, what will it be?
It's not more than
It's not more than like
3
approximately
3 point.
3.16. Oh, 385 actually.
not
If you
5.
have
It's
384.16 person, so what is that approximately equal to? Given that human beings are integers. And 384.16 is greater than 384. What will it be?
385.
Thank you. So now, one thing you should know about the sample sizes is that it gives you the minimum number. You cannot go below that, but you can add. The more, the merrier. Is that okay? So let me conclude.
Yeah.
This is
Okay, sorry,
minimum.
man. Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
When we were approximately initial, we didn't consider that. Like when we're talking about each.
So you mean this is not an approximation?
Some
You
of
mean you
it were
approximated backwards?
yeah,
Eh?
like the normal way.
So
Some
then you have to now go
no,
forward.
no, no. I don't mean this one. Like, I mean the previous one we did.
Which
I,
one did you do again? The one you
I think
did
they were,
before? And you go and
mm,
correct yourself now.
okay. So I just want to make
So,
reference.
okay. So all these sample sizes are minimum. That is because research has shown that the more your sample size, the better your results. But this is the minimum one that will still give you an acceptable result. Sava? Any questions so far?
No.
So now that we know our sample size and we have a complex population distribution, how do we apportion these 287 such that we have a representative sample? That is the next question. Babatunde, your hand is up. You have the floor. Ask your question.
My question is on this Z that you used in the second example. First, in
Yeah.
exam, is it that we are going to be given the approximation?
Of course,
And
now
in the
they give
case
you the
when we
table
want
now.
to do our own research, how do we know the kind of approximation to use?
I already told you it has to do with your confidence level, and they taught you statistics. Did you do statistics? Did they tell you that your confidence level could be 1%, 2.5%, 5%, or even 10%? Did they
We did
teach you
more.
that? So
We
you
were
should go
taught
and dust that, because we can never be 100% certain. Hence, we need to have confidence interval that whatever we are doing is correct. And there are different tables that enable you get the value depending on the test statistic you are using. Saba? So the next question is, how do we determine the type of sample to use? And how do we determine how many sample elements to pick from our population? And that takes us to types of sampling techniques. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when we look at types of sampling techniques, we have two main categories. We have probability sampling techniques and non-probability sampling techniques. Is that okay? So I'm going to breeze through this one because I know it's something, again, you must have done in statistics. So I'm not going to waste time on grammar. I'm going to go into hands-on and demonstrate the techniques for you. The easiest ones to use are the non-probability sampling techniques, but there are rules that guide them. Is that okay? So I'm going to show you how to apply these techniques. Now, the first thing you should know about probability sampling techniques is they are objective. They are objective. They follow the scientific approach strictly. Is that okay? And all of them are based on the principle of randomization, which gives every member of the population a non-zero equal chance of being selected. So everybody have a non-zero chance of being selected. Nobody has zero. Everybody must have a fraction. Like all of you in this class, if I want to give my water to somebody from your class, all of you have an equal chance of getting this bottle of water if I'm using probability sampling technique. But if I'm using non-probability sampling technique, which is subjective, I can now say, oh, class rep, you have been hardworking, take this bottle of water. Oh no, class rep, you have been bugging me, you are supposed to give me water. I won't give you, I'm going to give this water to the student that answer the most questions. Can you see? I am not being judgmental. I'm not using my personal subjective reasoning, rule of thumb to determine who to use. Is that okay? Now, with probability sampling, all of them have zero non-equal chance of being selected. And the smallest, the easiest of the lot was named that way. What is it? Can you tell me the easiest of the
Simple
probability
sample.
sampling technique? Say it again.
Simple sampling.
Thank you. It's not simple sampling. They call it properly. Give it its correct name.
Simple sample probability distribution.
Random
sampling.
Thank
Simple
you.
random.
Simple random
The
sample.
first one is simple random sampling technique. That's it. You can see the name is simple. Is that okay? Now, if you want to do or draw a simple random sample, everybody have a zero non-equal chance probability of being selected. You have 3 ways of doing it. The first way is using the lottery method. Another one is method of shuffling. And the easiest of the lot is table of random numbers. We can call that random numbers method too, but because you may decide to use something like calculator to generate your random numbers or computers random number methods. Is that okay? These are the 3 approaches you can use to draw simple random samples, and they are very simple. Like if you are doing the lottery method, you know, I have attendance list of all of you. What I just have to do is either I use your matric number, which is unique to each of you, or assign serial number unique to each person, and then roll your names in a ball and throw it in a big bowl, or I can roll it in small ball, throw it in this bottle, and then I now shuffle, I mix it. Is that okay? Once I mix, I pick one. Once I mix, I pick one. Is that okay? Now, in your selection, you have 2 types of selection. You can select with replacement or without replacement. Now, if you are selecting with replacement, what it means is that once I have picked you from my batch, from my lot, from my pot, or from my bottle, I record that I have selected you, then I roll you back in a ball and throw you back in the bowl. Is that okay? That is with replacement. The question or the problem with this mode of drawing sample is that if somebody's name is good luck, fortunate, bonaventure, lucky, there's a chance that if I select 10 people, he may come out 10 times. It's possible. Look at the case of one of our presidents, Goodluck Jonathan. If you look at the way he ascended his political position, it's like a kind of chance of nature. Everybody is there. They needed deputy. He was the one that came out. When the other thing happened as the presidency, he was still the one. It's not that he's the best person. It's because luck, chance favored him. Are you with me? And that's the problem with replacement. So, but for research purposes, when we are doing we're drawing samples, do we do it with replacement or without replacement? That is, once we have selected you, you cannot go back into the lot. Which one do you think is better for researchers? Sampling with replacement or sampling without replacement?
Without replacement.
Without replacement.
Without
Why? Why is the one without replacement better? Why
It
is
prevents the
sampling
risk
without
of
replacement?
going back or studying a particular
Because somebody cannot
one.
pick the same thing twice.
Reduces repetition and
It
confusion.
reduces fraud.
Can see me shaking my head. It's a very simple thing. No? Researchers are investigating people's view on a phenomenon of interest. Or you are trying to investigate reaction of something on certain elements. So if you keep on studying the same person, will you have divergent views?
No, no.
No, ma.
So we need different views to be able to make our decision. And that's why sampling without replacement is what researchers do. Because I want only your opinion once, not your opinion multiple times. Is that okay?
Yes, ma.
All right. So now with the simple random sampling, if we're doing the lottery method, I roll all your names into a bowl, shake it, and I pick. Now remember, we've determined our sample size. We need how many? 200, and what did we determine before? 287, isn't it? We need 287 out of a population of 1,013. So if I want to use the lottery method, don't you think my hand will pain me by the time I'm rolling all your names 1,000 times? Hmm? Hello, class. What do you think?
With other people helps it.
I'm the researcher now. Did I tell you I have money to I employ assistants? You are the one drawing sample now.
Why you be exhausted?
I'll be exhausted, isn't it? Same thing if I use the method of shuffling cards, it's another heart attack because imagine having cards 1,013, then I'm able to reduce it to 287 cards, which will be something like this. Is it easy to shuffle 287 cards? You know how your what card is? You play words now. You play words, you play ace. Imagine if you have 5 word cards and you have to shuffle it. Will it be easy to shuffle?
Yes, ma.
Hmm? That person that said yes
No,
doesn't play. Oh my God, see, yay! I have another class, so they are calling me. I've even forgotten, Shay. All right, you know what is going to happen? We have to stop the class here before my other students. They've been sending messages. So I'll need to end the class with you now. Is that okay? So what that means is we
Yes, ma'am.
have to fit an extra class. It won't take us more than like 1 hour or 30 minutes, stops depending, where I'm going to now teach you all the sampling procedures and then show you how to apply them. And to even make it easier, which is a good thing, is that now that you know them, I want you to go and read types of probability and non-probability sampling techniques so that when you come, you already have a background knowledge of what they are. And then I'll just show you how to apply them. Does that work?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So thank you so much. So we'll see when we can have an extra time for me to finish up with all the groups. Thank you all for those that attended. You can see my other class, they are calling. So give me 1 second. Let me pick their call and then
Maya, muted though.
Yes, ma'am, we cannot hear you.
He's on a call. Who wanted to pick it?
Call.
True. Thank you very much. I forgot to.
oh my God. So sorry about that.
He's
I
on
had
call.
to answer the yes, thank you. Sorry about that. Is the class rep of the other class. You know, I forgot and she did not remind me. So class rep, if you have classes with lecturers, especially this one that we have multiple student categories, always call them at least 24 hours before, you know. It was your class rep that reminded me this morning. Otherwise, I've even forgotten. So it was like first come, first served. Is that okay? So we're going to fix an extra time to do the practical session. I observe that not many of you came to this class, and we all agreed that we're going to have a combined class. And the total population I have here is not even up to 300. Is that okay? So class reps, please encourage your colleagues to come to class because my exams are practical in nature. If you don't know it, you will not know it. And I don't want you to have carryovers in things that you can easily do and score an A on. Is that okay? Sava?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
thank you. So let me now give you time
Okay,
to
ma'am.
screenshots of the class notes now. You are going to take screenshots because I'm not going to share any slides with you. That's the essence of coming to class. So take your
Okay, ma'am.
screenshots, which
Thank you,
can
ma'am.
guide you in your readings. Is that okay? So page 1 is available for taking. Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Page 2.
So, one.
Okay. Page 3.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You done? Okay. Done?
Please,
Yes,
ma,
ma'am.
can you bring it down a bit, ma?
Is that good?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Oh.
Is that done?
Yes, ma'am. What's that? Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, ma, I'm a visually impaired student. I don't know if I can get the record.
It's on YouTube if you can get it on YouTube. But I don't give my class recordings to students because I need you to come to class. Is that okay?
I've been in the classes the beginning of the lecture, but because of the slide, I'm a visually impaired student, ma.
Okay, maybe you'll chat me up later. I'll see what I can do, provided you sign an undertaking that you're not going to give anybody.
I will, ma. I will, ma.
No problem. So reach out to me later, okay?
Okay, ma.
We also reach
Can
out,
I?
ma.
All right. Okay, so is it
Thank you,
next
ma.
one? You're welcome.
Yes, ma.
That's Ebuchi Timothy for long, sure. No problem.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Is census done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that done?
Ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, done, ma'am. Yeah, that's it. Done, ma'am.
Done, ma.
Yeah. Done, ma'am.
Done, ma.
Done, ma'am.
Next one.
Okay.
Next
Done,
one.
ma'am. Yeah.
Next one.
So let me give you a reading assignment.
Yes, okay. Uh-huh.
So hold on, I want to add your reading assignment now.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Done. So that's your reading assignment.
Thank you, ma.
Fantastic. So we'll see how to fix an extra class to be able to finish
Thank you
up.
very much, ma'am.
Class rep will see me later to do that, okay? Ciao, ciao. And encourage your colleagues to attend the next class, okay? Thank you so much for your love. Love you all too. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Merci, ma. Thank you, ma.
Thank you,
ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Merci, madame.
Nyafado kwa. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. So let me quickly dash to my other class, okay? Ciao, ciao.